officer, I'm like, no, I have to go to the event. And like, I'm really glad that's a thing, because like, I end up going to all the events and having like a quality time. So, and it's also like a great way to like meet people, because like at the general meetings, I didn't really like know anyone because I was scared to talk to people. But then you're like, gee, you're an officer, you have to talk to people. And I'm like, okay, I guess I'll make friends. And then like, I've met a lot of people that way, and that was pretty fantastic.
Okay. August? Again, as I ask every officer who will step onto the stage, what cultural artifacts do you intend to keep and which ones do you intend to get rid of?
I really like Child's Play because I thought it was a really good idea and it's a really good cause, and even my mother supported that, so that's fucking saying something. But the same thing that John said, I think we should do more team things, because even though my apartment was a mess after that, I got over it. It's just a good way to meet people. Talking in the sense of how we are starting to do the social thing now after the meetings, where everyone just hangs out and talks to each other. I think that's like the most fantastic idea ever, to like meet friends. No, okay.
Friendship is for the weak.
I need friends, so whatever.
Any other questions? Anybody? Anybody else? I feel like there's a rule against executive questions. No?
If no one else has got
Roll
one.
a D10 to pass. Okay, go ahead.
What new ideas do you have in bringing the club through your position?
I mean, I don't have any new ideas at the moment, but I do remember during one meeting, the level design contest for like the Little Big Planet thing. Like, I remember I did Little Big Planet. Someone did the Skyrim level. Someone did like the Minecraft level. All of that. Like, I remember coming up with the initial idea and then people kind of building off that. And like, I'm sure I'll come up with something.
Thank you.
Yeah, go in the dark corner.
Alright, James. Can I have my coat on? Yes. What's your perception?
So I just start whenever I start?
Yeah, whenever you're ready.
Hi, my name is Eugene, and I'm running for secretary. I like to think that I'm a pretty reliable guy. Record and publish meeting minutes? I can do that. Create and distribute the agenda for meetings? What of it? Organize and maintain committees of the organization? Consider it done. What I'm trying to say is that I am just as qualified as any secretary wannabe. However, I won't tell you who to vote for. I just hope you would give me the opportunity, a chance, to have an important role in the club that I love. Thank you for your time. I love you.
Chris?
So as secretary, even though you don't have a VP or president slapped onto your name, you will be a voting member of the executive board. So what new ideas do you want to see implemented in the club that aren't currently being operated, done, whatever you want to call it now?
Teamwork? No, that's already been done. Yeah, I'm just gonna say it. I like to see more teamwork or bonding, because what's not seen is that people will argue a lot within groups and then it'll fall apart. I've already seen it happen a few times already. And so if we get just to the core of the issue there, maybe then we won't have groups falling apart and be happy family.
So, yes, almost anyone can type up minutes, anyone can stay organized, and anyone can run groups of people who are essentially built to run themselves. But one of my main focuses is culture, so I'm always going to do it. So one of the things you have to do as an officer, as Chris Warren pointed out, is you have a vote to change dramatically what the club does and does not do. But you also have an inherent responsibility to be a role model to those around you. How do you intend to fulfill that role?
Do your job. Your job is first, friendship comes second.
does an experience come to mind that, shows when you were reliable, when you went above and beyond to finish something that was difficult to finish? What's the first thing that comes to mind?
Maybe difficult to finish.
Like, what's something that you've done, that you had to do, that you had to overcome a challenge to do? Like, recently or not? But just what's a recent, somewhat recent challenge you've overcome to finish something that demonstrates how reliable you are?
Comes to me pretty common actually. I just stay up late and then do the work.
Like for what? I'm sorry.
He's asking for a specific.
Like what's a specific example? Yeah.
Well, this comes back to the teamwork thing because some people have slacking off, and then maybe me or a few other people will be doing their job and then have to fill up their roles. Yeah, this comes back to the teamwork thing.
Okay. Like I say, can you think of a specific example of the time that you went above and beyond to finish a project?
I don't want to point that one out because I might hurt a few feelings.
Fair enough. Do you have another question?
Well, what did you mean by Secretary Wannabees?
I think he's neglecting the answer.
I think so.
All right. Any other questions?
I'm willing to answer any questions.
Except that one.
All right. So, who wants to go next?
Thank you.
Next up is public relations.
Woo! So excited.
All right, so alphabetical order by last name.
So, wait.
Yeah. J.
So, you have
JPR. Public relations. No.
You're too funny. Really.
I'm being politically correct.
Well, it's unclear whether they're laughing with you, right?
Damn Chris Warman, soiling our symbol.
Good evening. My name is Leah Jennings, and I want to serve DDG as your Vice President of Public Relations. As your PR officer, I will develop our web presence, ensure that the print media and photography is of the highest standard, and be reaching out to the professional community to bring them to speak at our events. So this was the Bigs poster that I designed, and I did it on pretty short notice in a couple of days. And as you can see, I'm capable of creating design that is inviting and it communicates the idea and will draw people into an event. Also, I will be, for this next year, I'll be working on campus as a graphic designer for the school, designing their posters, digital signage, brochures, and occasionally doing photography for them. So I will already have a lot of experience doing this thing. And also I'll be in contact with other designers in case you want to see some fresh talent. And I have experience with print labs, so I can ensure that they're printed correctly. And if I was your PR officer, I would try to bring more print media to events and advertising around the school, such as with media kits and anything from palm cards, anything like that. In addition, photography is essential to the image of the club. And I do have experience with digital and film photography that I can draw from, and I have professional photographer contacts that I can request to come in and shoot if that works out. And also, as your PR officer, I would be using my experience with online business and web design to maintain our event pages, our calendars, and social media outlets to make sure all the information is current and easily accessible. And I would be contacting industry professionals to maintain relationships with people we already know, bring in new people to build up the club with their knowledge and presence. Basically, for 2 years, I worked as a graphic designer for a Korean publishing company, and part of my job was stay in contact with writers, business owners, people around the globe working in different time zones, and contacting them in a timely manner and professionally. So I'm used to dealing with a lot of difficult people from different spheres. So considering my experience and my passion for my career and this club, I hope you'll vote for me to serve you with DDG. Thank you.
Questions? August, would you like to go first this time?
Again, cultural artifacts, what do you want to keep, what do you want to get rid of, and what are you going to replace them with?
I think one thing that I respect most about this club is bringing the students into the professional world and empowering students to be cultural modulators in the school. So I really liked how we made the charity gala and attempted to interact with our community. So I would like to see more student-run events that are interacting with the community outside of the school. And as far as what I don't like, I mean, always try to encourage more participation in meetings. Other than that, I think we're doing a good job.
Any other questions? No questions? All right, thank you.
For future reference, anyone running for everything has to go get their picture taken.
I think it's kind of funny to watch them walk back and then kind of keep it either way.
Yeah.
We get to see their professional walk and then their oh shit walk.
It's important, yeah.
I want you grilled.
Really?
All of them.
Who's all of them?
All running.
Oh. All right.
Do it. Nope, never too late to start. That's not the right one.
Map symbols.
I don't think
Don't ask questions.
If you're running on a platform of burgers,
That's the strongest platform, actually. The original.
It was one. Nah, there you go.
I can hang.
Yeah, there's a full screen button.
Is this your flash drive?
No, this is my account.
Oh.
Do you want to go up there and snatch
There you go.
people?
Full screen button.
All fine.
That fucker.
That's okay.
It's good enough for DDG work.
All right.
Are you ready?
Hello everybody, I'm your current VP of Public Relations. My name is Jamie Parton, and I've been a part of DDG for about 2 years when DDG just started becoming the guild. And I've watched it turn into a bunch of kids playing video games after class, into video gamers developing to be in the industry. And it's really fascinating because I never thought August could do it, to be honest, but he did. I'm not an SCE major, so I'm basically a marketing major. I have experience creating press kits and stuff like that for the Career Center. I have a lot of connections with people in the university. I'm part of student government as well, and I have an expanding network currently. Oh, and I talk about the guild wherever I go. So even when I'm in Arkansas, that's the first thing that comes out of my mouth. I'm like, I'm part of DDG, and they're like, what is DDG? So I have them Google and everything. And I also have a lot of experience now because I've been taking more marketing classes, more in my field, and implementing them. And I hope to implement them more in the future. My plans for the coming year is to bring more more awareness of who we are. Unfortunately, a lot of people think we still play video games at our meetings. That's not true. This means that I would like to have more outreach tables, more human interactions with other people on campus, along with online and bringing more online presence. It would be nice to develop a team, which was something I wanted to do last year, that basically shows online presence through social media for the Guild. My biggest concern is bigs. I really want it to be bigger than what it is. I want to be able to contact people outside of our UB community, talk to city papers, get ourselves more grounded, and become a proud event hosted by University of Baltimore's Digital Designers Guild. I want it to be a Baltimore thing, not just a UB thing. And I don't know if I'll win this time because I have a very nice competitor, but I didn't want to take this time to say I do love you guys. I don't really care if I win or not right now. And I just want to say that I'm just going to turn this down. Basically, you guys work hard, and I want people to see that. I want people to see you guys progress. You're not the same freshman when you first were here. You're not sitting around playing video games in your basement. No, you're building them. People need to see this type of work. When you start doing this before you're even entering the job market, that's fascinating. Everything is about building your resume. And I want people to see your resume. Put things out there. Have a gallery at the school to see all the games that DDG has developed so far. Give events to people to say, hey, this is what we're working on. These are our projects. You want to hear about it. It'll bring more people in if they know exactly what we're doing. So if you vote for me, or if you don't, it doesn't matter, I'll still work for you guys.
Any questions?
Yes.
So obviously you have some of the characteristics that we want in our role model leaders. So my question to you is, so you've been public relations for a year. What do you intend on doing differently next year? Because one of the things that a lot of organizations suffer from is having the same people in charge for too long and ideas stagnating. So how do you intend on preventing that?
I actually thought about this last night, so I'm very prepared for this question. I think more interactions with the officers, like public relations and events, talk to him more, get more input in what needs to be done, and instead of just going on my own about it. It's, I say I didn't have that much communication the first semester, and I wasn't able to make DDG my priority, but definitely now I see like how much I actually love the Guild. Most likely what I would try and do differently is more interactions, more understanding of what is needed from me, because Steve can't just host events all on his own. And it's just more of saying, this is my idea. A lot of times when we sit down in our officer meetings, we're very like, we discuss about things that are important to the Guild, but I don't feel like we actually say, hey, these are my responsibilities, and lay them out. We just kind of go at it. What I personally will do differently is I want to bring more people who want to work in the public relations department and find more designers, find more photographers, bring in corporate communication students, and draw in the people that aren't game developers but will be beneficial to us.
Any other questions? Yes.
I just want to stand up. So you were addressing how there's obviously a stigmatism with people that create games and people that enjoy them as a hobby or as something different entirely. Did you do anything in your previous year to try to address that? And if you got another year, you got another year, how do we make a university that only gives us one room for an entire major to be more open-minded about us?
That all goes back to connections. There's the dean, which if a lot of you go talk to your deans and say this is a problem, then they will try and change things. If that was a problem and it was pointing to me, and obviously I could probably do this now, is go to, like, basically build a letter and say this is all the members of the guild, this is what they're saying, we're lacking and we need this. Go talk to other students that are outside of the guild who are in need of the same thing. It's basically networking, connecting, trying to find the right people to talk to, because our school it's kind of hard to do that at our school. And it all starts with knowing your senators and knowing the people, your professors and everything. Because professors can ask and ask and beg, but it really takes the students to get what they want.
And then what have you done in the past to try to address the stigmatism?
Most of the time, whenever people say, oh, isn't that just a video game club, I kind of correct them. And I have brought it to the attention of the business school dean, hoping, because we're trying to implement a roundtable discussion with the dean and the business organizations. And DDG is not just an arts and science organization, it's also a business organization. So I'm trying to show people, like, we're not just gamers, we're people who want to be professionals in this industry. I brought it to the attention of the business dean, and I tried to talk to some of the business orgs, but they're still seeing us as a gaming thing.
And then I have, well, are you
Was
done?
it add-on?
Yeah, I have one more thing to ask. So you're talking about trying to get us to possibly work with other parts of the university. What if some of us don't work well with those people, or there's groupthink going on right as of this moment, and people are secretly not telling you that they do not want to work with the business people?
That will definitely be conflict management. And if that is the case, I'll probably catch on to that before it happens, because I'm a communicator. I can see nonverbal communication very well. If that is the case too, I will probably ask the guild before I do anything. Because one thing that the officers did fail to do for a couple decisions is figure out what you guys want. And that's something that we do need to change. We need to say, these are some of our ideas. Do you guys want this or do you guys not want this? Because we did do an event that was supposed to be with Cube. Professional networking workshop, we were supposed to have soiree. Cube didn't show up, and I'm pretty sure we're not going to build a relationship with Cube because of that. And if that wasn't addressed to you guys beforehand, is this something you would like to do? We just kind of did it. So, yes.
Last question, please make.
Everyone, what are you proudest of for your previous year's accomplishments?
My proudest of the previous year accomplishments. That's a good question. I don't think I don't get proud easily on stuff that I do.
What are you most satisfied with then?
Okay, it's just that most satisfied with is probably letting people outside of the guild kind of know more about the guild. I don't know how to like say there's like specific numbers or something, but it's more like people know DDG, people who know DDG through me know that DDG is a place that they just don't come to thinking, oh hey, they do game development and stuff. No, it's like we do more than that, and they understand what DDG is about, and that's just like a start. That's kind of what I'm satisfied with. The fact that we're no longer having this stereotype that all we do is play video games after class.
Thank you.
page of a magazine, and that's my speech. Just give me a second to get my job
Copy
out.
of Gaming Corner from 1998.
It is. That's exactly the issue. How'd you know?
I named a year.
Okay. Hello, everyone. I just wanted to start out by saying that our current VP of Public Relations has done a great job. So, whoop Janie. But as we always like to say, and as Magic players like to say, we always know we can do better. I'm here today because I plan to increase awareness of the club with local, both campus-wide and hopefully city-wide media. Continue to bring a higher caliber of guests with much to offer the guild. Work to expand our guild by reaching out to Micah, as well as other guild members to create our advertisements and things like that to promote the guild. Create and maintain a public image both online and in person for the guild that not only reflects its professional and hard-working side, but also the joyful attitude that I know we can all bring to it. And as the current officer events, I've not only now have a thorough understanding of how things work internally with how decisions are made and not made and things like that, but I've also begun to help shape the outward appearance. So I feel like I've got a fair understanding on how things work in that area. During the past year or so, as an officer and an active member of the guild, I've continually tried to further not only the organization, but also its members within the past year. A couple of things I've done is I've reached out to Last Bigs. I was really disappointed that it didn't seem like we were getting the type of coverage we needed. So one of the things I did was I went out and reached out to local news companies, and I actually got back, I made contact and spoke with someone from ABC2 News, and unfortunately, as you all know, since you were there last year, they weren't able to make it out. This year, I actually reached out and made the first initial contact with Looney Labs. And if you guys have heard or haven't heard, Andrew Looney, one of the co-founders of Looney Labs, is actually coming down. And that's great that we're able to attract members of a higher standard to come out, and like we've had the nice gentleman whose name's escaping me right now, who came out to our our level design, Todd Broadwater. I was thinking rivers, and I knew it had something to do with water. But yes, Todd Broadwater came out, and it's great to see that we're having that standard and that bar being raised on who we can bring and who's attracted to us. Another thing I've done over the past year is I'm also an active member of the DDG Roundtable, as it's now being known, and it's often being called our most front-facing part of the guild. And I know you guys are all active listeners, isn't that right? Nope,
Yeah.
nothing? Okay, cool, thanks. And I've helped to brainstorm and create events that not only help our members build the professional skills they need, but also the personal skills they need that can push them further. Because a lot of reasons that people aren't successful who have good skills in the industry is because they don't have people skills. And that's one of the things I definitely want to help work on. As your VP of Public Relations, some of the things I plan to do are increased coverage of not only Bigs, but also our other events, and receive credit where it's due. If you guys ever pick up the school paper, if you remember back when we had our level design contest, one of the things that was there was a Skyrim level. If you also remember, around the same time that we had our Indie Game Jam, there was another one at Shady Grove that was getting a lot of attention and everything, and the level that actually won there was the Skyrim level from our Game Jam. One of the things I want to do is work closely with the newspaper and make sure that that never happens again, where we're not mentioned and not receiving the credit, because we helped them spur that idea, or at least I feel like we helped them spur that idea, and I feel like we should at least been name dropped and receive some sort of attention for that. And I want to make sure that we always receive the credit for the things that we're doing, where we're shining. And yeah. Another thing is that as our opponents, another thing is that our opponents have touched out is that we are often known as the video game club. I want to make sure that that never happens, and I've already started doing that by every time someone's like, oh, you're part of DDG, don't they just make video games and stuff? I'm like, well, yeah, but we work with marketing majors, accounting majors, jurisprudence majors, and things like that. So it's not just for people who are in SDD, but it's for everyone to come together as a family and help put out a product that's available to everyone. I also want to work to promote workshops. Some of my favorite things that we've done are like the resume building workshops, the public speaking workshops that I know Kurt loves to give, and I just think those are great things for